I'm here with the very well-known Seamus Sheridan here in Galway, outside Sheridans Cheesemongers. Did it all start in the market here?
It started just right here, Market Stall, just where the shop
and then
is
you
now.
bought the building, it was just kind of...
Oh no, we set a stall there, and then we had a shop in our square shopping centre, then down to Kieran's Lane. Then we rented this shop about 15 years ago.
Right.
And then the shop's up in Dublin
And it's
around the
spread out
place.
from there. So every Christmas I come in here on the day before Christmas Eve to buy cheeses for everyone, but I know nothing about cheese and I love goat's cheese and brie, so that's all I buy, and people come to my house giving out that I haven't got the full selection. So Seamus is going to show us how to put together the ultimate cheese board for Christmas, so you can come in and get it yourself then. So here we go.
Okay, let's go.
What's first on the list? What's the absolute number one?
For me, it's this cheese over here, which I'll open for you later. That's a Montour.
What kind of cheese is that?
It's, well, you say like brie, it's very soft wash joint cheese, what we call it.
Is it strong?
No, quite mild. Bertie, can I get a piece of Stilton, please?
Yeah.
It's a cheese I always have on a cheese board, which is actually Parmesan.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet stuff with cheese, so we could try some fig compote.
You're very near the wine there. Would you throw in a bottle of...
Oh, we get that upstairs, yeah, okay. Put that back on.
This is kind of my size bottle over here.
Put that back.
This is one of my favourite all-time cheeses, St. Ola Ash.
St. Ola Ash, yeah.
And you'll probably crucify me because what I used to do was put it on, I'm celiac, so I'd put it on rice cakes and then smush raspberries on top of it. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
So the sourness and the creaminess of the goat's cheese, and it's delicious.
That's a good idea as well. It's also lovely toasted.
So this is your favourite.
So this is interesting cheese, yeah. So we sell a huge amount of Montours in Sheridans.
So it's French, obviously.
It's from this region here in the Jura Mountains.
Okay.
And it's only made really for the winter time because they make this cheese in the summer.
Okay.
So I'm just going to show you how to open it on live on TV. So I would warm it up beside the fire. So this one isn't warmed up. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Or get to room temperature anyway. So this is straight out of the fridge. But what we're going to do is properly.
A splinter.
So
now, I'm celiac, so do you have gluten-free crackers here for people
we
who...
do have gluten-free crackers, yeah. I also have a t-shirt that says it's the gluten that makes me tolerant.
There you go. I need one of those.
So that's a Montour. And this here is the bark of a spruce tree, see?
Oh,
which is
right.
keeping the cheese intact. And it's quite wavy at the top.
Okay.
So to cut it open...
It's not the prettiest cheese I've ever seen in my life.
It is the prettiest cheese in the world. I turn it upside down.
Oh, now it's pretty.
And then I can slice it open like this.
Are these one of the cheeses that people bake in the oven and then
Correct.
dip their
Yeah,
bread into?
yeah.
Okay.
Or I rather than bake it, I just like warming it up near the fire at room temperature. Now you'd want six or 8 people.
I could manage that on my own. I wouldn't need anybody else.
Ah, yeah, but it is nice. It's a nice treat if there's about 6 or 8 of you there.
Now, what family does that fall into? You'll have to excuse my ignorance. Is it a camembert? Is it
It's a washed rind cheese. Okay, so we've no bries up here. There's 2 types of rind on the cheese.
Okay.
You've got the brie, which is the white mold,
Right.
which is a mold called penicillin candidum.
Oh,
and everything else is more or less a yeast
Right.
called bee linen. So all these here have yeasts. The goat's cheese doesn't have a rind grown like that, but it's got a little bit of a few molds. I won't go into them. But to keep it nice and neat, it's rolled in
ash.
Yeah, charcoal. St. Ola used to only be fresh white.
Right.
But because I would get different molds growing on it, Irish people would be quite scared of it.
Okay.
So once they rolled it in ash like that, they sell a huge amount more of it.
Yeah. Just gorgeous. That is just gorgeous.
Now here in Sheridan, well, it's a cheese shop, and we've shops all over the country, but this is a special one because upstairs we have our wine bar.
Yeah.
And my dear friend Enrico Fantasia from Venice, he imports wine for us. So we sell the majority of wine we import ourselves, and it's Italian. We have a tiny bit of French and Austrian and Slovenian wine and Spanish wine on the shelf over there. But in general, we're famous for very, very high quality Italian wines.
And if you were going to buy, I love the Valpolicellas and the Barolos and Ripazzos. If you were going to, like a special treat for a friend or somebody in your life, and you were going to buy a really special Italian red wine, what would you recommend?
My favourite red wine to drink at Christmas is a grape called Barbera, which is here.
This one here,
Yeah, Barbera, the Alba. Barbera is a grape. You mentioned Barolo. Barolo is not a grape, it's a region, and that's 100% Nebbiolo.
Right.
And the same region grows the Barbera grape.
Okay.
The wines here are 12 to 25 euros.
Okay.
So, because of the tax situation with one of the highest taxes in Europe, Irish people are disadvantaged for cheap wine.
Right.
So cheap wine here really, if you're spending 1 or 2 euros on a vineyard, start around 10, 11 quid.
Yeah.
When you hit 15 to 18 quid, we're still expensive compared to the rest of Europe. But once you hit 20 quid, the taxation,
Comes
because
down.
it's set per bottle,
Okay.
the difference, the more expensive the wine,
The lower the tax.
the lower percentage of tax
Okay.
that you're paying. So it really, if you want to get good Christmas wines in your local off-license or in Sheridans, I would be looking between 15 and 25.
Okay, and how much is that one that you recommended there?
25, look at that.
Perfect.
And you mentioned Valpolicella.
Yes.
So Valpolicella makes the very famous Amarone. Michelangelo, can you throw me over an Amarone there? Michelangelo is our resident Italian wine nerd. But am I correct in saying Amarone, when did it start? About 100 years ago, the system?
Yeah.
Okay, so they dried the grapes for 120, 140 days?
Yeah.
So the grapes are dried, so the moisture comes out, and there's more sugar. So when they start the fermentation to make the wine, it's slightly sweeter.
Yeah.
It goes up to 16%. They stop the fermentation. It's not sweet anymore, but it's very, very strong. And
Honestly, the fermentation stops naturally because of the percentage of alcohol. But yeah, you get lots of sugar and you get this kind of very round and complex sensation.
if you stop it earlier, you got Ricciotto di Valpolicella,
Right.
which is a sweet version in a half bottle, which is one of my favourite wines in the world to watch the Guns and Averone with and drink with Christmas pudding. So that's such an amazing process. It's
Yeah.
a shame to waste the dry grapes. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
right.
instead of wasting them, you can explain it better, Michelangelo?
Yeah, you're right.
They
you're right.
repress them, is this?
Yeah, the repasso means
Pass through.
they
Repressed.
ripasso, the verb to ripassare.
Yeah.
It means you use dried grapes and
Yeah.
you put your dried grapes with a basic wine, so with a liquid together,
Yeah.
and you mix them. So
Right.
you make the ripasso.
Right.
Yeah, so it's an Orni Valpolicella made beautiful by mixing
Ripasso.
it with the dry grapes
Yeah.
that they make the Amarone with.
So which is, if
You want to
you,
pour some of that one there?
Yeah.
Thank
which
you.
is
I'll
the
take this.
perfect wine to go with this selection of cheese?
Okay, it's very difficult to match wine and cheese. And Michelangelo's a genius. Enrico, who buys my wine, is a genius. But there's very few people that I come across, other than these lads, who actually are that tuned into flavour and taste with pairing with wines and cheese.
Okay.
Put it this way, cheese only has one ingredient, which is milk,
Yeah.
and wine has only one ingredient, which is grapes.
Right.
And they make so many different varieties.
Okay.
You
should just go for what you
drink,
love.
Yes, and you drink stronger reds towards the end of a dinner. Isn't that right,
Yeah.
Michelangelo?
Yeah, you're
We
right.
could talk for hours about what white wine suits a goat's cheese, but for most of us, if it's lunchtime and it's summer and you're eating goat's cheese and it's cold white wine, I'm really happy. If it's winter time and I have black pudding and I have mince pies and I have the dinner cooked and I've all my
Fire.
brownie points done and I
Yeah.
don't have to go for a walk with the kids because I cooked dinner, then I would love to drink a Amarone and watch the Guns and Averone, as I said. So, and everything in
Fantastic.
between, you got the Spanish, the Riojas. For eating during the dinner, as I said, I love Barbera. What would your favourite wine to be during the dinner, Michelangelo?
But I would suggest something like, Barbera is very nice, lots of acidity, so it's very nice with pairing with cheeses and with turkey, for example, for Christmas.
Yeah.
And we also love Barolos and Barbaresco, you know them very well because of the Nebbiolo grapes, so you have this kind of amazing traditional wines from Piedmont. But I would say our philosophy is like to sell and to provide sustainable wines. So our wines, most of them are organic or biodynamic, and that's something part of the Sheridans philosophy as well.
Yeah, which is a very good point. It's not just when people say, "Oh, I don't like Chardonnay" or like that. That's a very strange thing to say because it depends who makes the wine.
Yes.
There's so many varieties.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of what wine you enjoy is down to the winemaker itself.
Okay.
One last question, Michelangelo. Give me 2 white wines from Italy that Irish people should explore over Christmas. Just give me 2.
I would get you two wines, 2 different wines. I would say we can get we should try the Verdicchio from Marche, which is a dry grape, which is very nice with aperitifs and for starters, and something maybe more sweeter or with a kind of sweet maybe aftertaste, Pinot Blanc, so Pinot Bianco from South Tyrol. Yeah.
So tell us about the rest of the cheese.
Okay, so back to the cheese now. So, what would happen
you,
if you got a large piece of cheese?
I would eat it all and feel sick.
So, say you got this. This is way too much. This is way too big for a cheese board. So, if you happen to have too much cheese, don't put it on the cheese board.
Okay.
Just put a small piece of it on the cheese board, and let that small piece get to room temperature. Okay.
So that's important. The cheese.
Yeah, and then save this here. You can put it in a Tupperware tub in the garage.
The garage?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you put it into the fridge, you really have to wrap it tight in a Tupperware tub because fridges suck out moisture.
That's what's been happening because I buy your cheeses regularly and I put them in Tupperware in the fridge. So
it's very old. There's so many ways. Unfortunately, most of our houses are too centrally heated.
Yeah.
I don't have a garage.
Yeah.
I do have a small food press at the back, which is great for keeping cold meats and stuff.
Okay.
But the most important thing is if you have too much cheese, don't put it all out and come back down the next morning, come over and go, oh God, and the cheese is crawling all over the place.
Okay.
Particularly with soft cheeses. So make your cheese board, if you have too much cheese, off a little bit. Now there are a lot of Irish cheeses like this Gubine. So you've got Gubine, Durris, Malines. Gubine has been sensationally good this year. But I mean, again, I can't say which is the best Irish cheese. I love all of them.
Okay.
I just happened to pick up Gubine here. You can taste a bit there if you want.
Thank you. Yeah, I buy that kind of regularly. It's lovely, really lovely. Can I try this now? Keen to try this.
Work away. So, again, it's not about matching the wine with the cheese.
Oh no.
It's just about drinking wine and eating cheese together.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of way. So don't get too caught up in what goes with what. But there is one.
Oh, it's lovely.
Now, so you said some goat's cheese.
Yes.
Again, that's way too much for a cheese board.
Okay.
So you just cut off a little piece. Okay.
You're being very reserved here with your amount.
No, this is a cheese board for.
Irish people are inclined to just load it on, aren't they?
Yeah, I'd say this is a nice cheese board for 6 or 8 or 10 people here. Okay.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So that's St. Tola's, if you want to taste a little bit of that.
Yeah, I love that. That's one of my favourites.
Do you know how a gentleman or a polite lady should eat cheese?
How?
You try and take your fair amount of rind for the next person. So, okay, so it's very important. So,
is that not a gentleman's job? And
yeah, maybe a gentleman.
Lady?
I would go as far as here, this way, yeah? And then I would turn around. As soon as it gets this size, I would start cutting it.
From there?
This way, you know.
And then do you know the big chunks of rind you get sometimes on bries and, you know, stuff at the end? It's all right to eat all of that, is it?
It's all right to eat any rind. It's just a matter of taste. Obviously, if it's a plastic rind, I wouldn't. I wouldn't eat the rind off Stilton.
Right.
Which doesn't look very appealing. I wouldn't eat the rind off my Comte here.
Right.
You know, it's hard. Wouldn't be nice.
Is that a Parmesan?
No, Parmesan's here.
Oh, sorry.
That's the Comte. I would definitely eat the rind off Gubine because it's the rind of Gubine that makes it such a beautiful cheese.
Yeah.
So there we have now got Gubine on our cheese board.
Yeah.
And some Setola ash.
Okay.
And this is a piece of Comte, 16-month-old Comte from the Jura Mountains in France, the same area as the Mont d'Or we had earlier.
Okay.
And if I was putting that on a cheese board, I'd just take off
the hard end.
The hard end there. I would probably leave it on one just because it looks nice. And you can taste that there. There you go.
Thank you.
So that's Conte. So in this style of cheese, you got the Gruyere, which we're all familiar with.
Yeah.
You got various different ages of Gruyere. They should all be the same price. It depends if they're what temperature they're matured at. But really strong Gruyere. I make French onion soup once a year.
Right.
In the first week in January. It's a huge amount of work for 6 bowls of soup, but it's the nicest thing I make all year.
Right.
I suggest everybody try and make French onion soup once a year.
With some Gruyere.
And then at the end, yes, you can put in the chopped Gruyere, which is just gorgeous.
Fabulous.
So if you can't afford to go skiing, I've never been skiing by the way, but make the French onion soup. And you can use Gruyere or Comté, and that's one of those Alpine cheeses there.
Okay.
So that's on the cheese board. And here's the king of cheeses, Parmesan.
Now why do you call it the king of cheeses?
Because it is. It just is. I use Parmesan obviously for cooking with, but this is my friend Giorgio's Parmesan. And it's not his, he ages it for me, Giorgio Cavero. And you break Parmesan rather than cut it, so you can just break it away there.
Now,
and taste a bit of that. Go on, taste. Dare you?
Most people are not inclined to put Parmesan on a cheese board. They're inclined to just use it for cooking. So
I would have it on a Christmas cheese board, or if somebody was getting married and I was giving them a present of a cheese board, I would have Parmesan on it.
That's
it's a very special occasion cheese board.
It's like there's crystals inside it.
Yeah,
is that right?
Gorgeous. Okay.
That's delicious. More wine needed, absolutely.
And we were all talking about it's not about pairing food or cheese and wine. My brother, and he's quite correct, Michelangelo, he likes to pair champagne with Parmesan.
Ooh.
Because it does actually go together.
Right,
now,
that's worth a try.
Do we have a cold dessert wine anywhere? So you've got the idea of, we opened a Mont d'Or, which is just one cheese.
Yeah.
And now we have a lovely cheese board where you just have 5 cheeses. Am I correct?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm very suspicious. I like uneven numbers on my cheese boards.
Okay.
I like 1, 3, and 5.
Really?
Yes, these things are very important to me. Other people prefer even numbers.
And
when you're a cheesemonger, you get bored. These things are important.
Okay, we'll go with the 5. So, and what about, you know the way people are inclined to dress it with bowls of olives and grapes?
We'll come to that. I wouldn't have grapes. I wouldn't have. Yeah. It looks good, doesn't it? It's unnecessary. Yeah.
I'll just make sure the wine
very
is
good
still
cracker. These are Sheridans crackers, which you make down in Cork. But the brown bread ones made with the buttermilk, the Irish brown bread crackers are probably the best crackers in the world to go with cheese.
I've heard that.
Yes. We'll take a bit of dessert wine there. Thank you.
And you can get all of this stuff in your store. It's all easy
of course,
to.
Yeah. So here's another idea. So now we've made a cheese board for 5 or 6 or 8 people.
Okay.
But say you don't want to do that.
Right.
And you have half a bottle of dessert wine, which I want you to taste.
Okay.
Cheers.
Thank you. Oh, that's very nice.
Now, if you can I have a little board.
Are you going to make me blue cheese?
Correct. So rather than having a big cheese board,
okay,
and you have a dinner party of 6, 8, 10, 12, 15 people, you could just bring one cheese. As we said, you could just bring the Mont d'Or.
Right.
And you could have that after dinner or sitting around the fire. Or you could bring one piece of blue cheese. You've got cashew blue.
Yep.
But for me, Stilton is the king of Christmas cheeses.
Okay.
That's Colts and Bass Stilton. And strange enough, it just, as I said, there's no nonsense with cheese and wine. But taste the blue cheese and then have some wine and see what happens to your brain.
Okay.
A little bit of blue. Enjoy that. No, wait. No, taste the blue cheese first.
Taste the blue cheese first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just relax. Not going to kill you. You know, as you get older, you like blue cheese more and more and more. So
yeah,
you're
it's
not
not
that
bad
old.
actually. It's very salty.
Yeah, try with dessert.
Okay. Oh, that's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, they're made for each other.
That's crazy.
So off
it's
to
so salty and so sweet all together.
So if you go into Sheridans or over to Middle Street to, it slipped my mind, the brilliant wine shop in Middle Street, Woodbury's,
Right.
because we're both in town,
Okay.
or up to McCambridge's, or failing that you can go to O'Brien's or wherever, but preferably come into town to Woodbury's, Sheridans or McCambridge's,
Yeah.
and buy a piece of Stilton and a half bottle of dessert wine, which will set you back somewhere between 15 and 30 quid, and you use it up there. And never throw it out because dessert wine is very stable.
Right.
And I sometimes mix it with whipped cream when I'm doing roast fruit towards the end. And it's just, I use it a lot in cooking. Not that I'm very rich if it's just left over. I wouldn't open one for cooking.
Okay.
But, so that's kind of, so don't be afraid to serve one cheese.
Right.
Yeah, but if you're serving one cheese, make it very interesting. If you're serving a few cheeses, start with a very mild one and go up to something that'll kill you for a bit of crack, because you're having a bit of crack. And just enjoy yourself. Don't get caught up in all the nonsense that you read in the papers.
Right.
About matching this, that, and the next thing. Just enjoy Christmas. Shop in town. Get a good turkey. And do lots of prep.
Well, thank you so much. I feel way more educated than I was when I came in the door. I won't be just buying brie anymore, Seamus. You've converted me.
Yeah.
I might even buy that blue cheese and a bottle of dessert wine, sit on my own.
Yes.
New Year's Eve
Yeah,
in a corner.
No, you'll be bringing the kids for a walk. I'll
Yeah.
be sitting on my own.
Okay. Okay, thanks so much.